legendary U.S. Route 23 winds through the eastern corridor of Kentucky and has seen the early days of artists such as Wynonna and Naomi Judd, Ray Cyrus, Skaggs, Gale, Loretta Lynn, and many more. Today, that 144-mile stretch of road is called the Country Music Highway, and a group is working on bringing attention to that area with a new arts education fund and a Road to Fame talent competition. We headed up to Frankfort, Kentucky to hear all about it.
Well, the history behind the Country Music Highway goes back really to the 40s and 50s, before it was known as the Country Music Highway. In the early years, that's when Loretta was beginning to find her voice and find what would eventually become, what she will be most known for is her music and her songwriting and her voice. But through the years, after her success, people gathered and talked about not only Loretta Lynn, but Dwight Yoakam. In the future, it ended up being Ray Cyrus, the Judds, Patty Loveless, so many that were born and raised along the highway that they felt it needed to be designated the Country Music Highway. A 144-mile stretch that goes from Letcher County to Greenup County.
New Orleans established jazz music, Louis Armstrong and some of those people. Memphis had the blues, Nashville had country music, but Kentucky had Bill Monroe, who invented an entire new genre of music and took it all around the world. Now, there are people who would like to take it away from us. Some people claim it started here, but this is the bluegrass state. Bill Monroe named his music after this state. We own bluegrass music, and we should not let anybody take it away from us, and that will be a part of the Country Music Road. And Miss Dixie, my wife, and I work in promoting bluegrass, well, she does 18 hours a day. And so I want to hold on to the bluegrass and make sure that people know that that music was born, started, and continues to grow, and is exported from the great state of Kentucky, the bluegrass state.
I think the reason there's so many great musicians in the eastern part of Kentucky is because of lots to do with the history and the families that had really not much to do except play music, and so everybody would gather around the porch and play music, and I think that was carried on through the traditions from child to child, from parent to children, and I think that's pretty well how it's carried through, and I hope that it continues through this program.
I would say through all the written materials and all the projects that I've worked on and written on, I have probably written US 23 Country Music Highway 10,000 times. So I feel like that it's a part of my life right now, and we're just so excited. This is a new flavor to that highway.
We hope to increase our tourism industry. We hope people will come to Kentucky, spend their money, stay with us, eat with us, go to all of the different attractions that we have to offer. Tourism is about our third or fourth largest industry in Kentucky, and we want to continue to do things to grow it.
Future plans for the Road to Fame is going to kick off March 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th. We will have our preliminary rounds in eastern Kentucky, and after that point, semifinals, finals. But along with those programs, we're going to be building on the Arts Education Fund. And that criteria is not yet determined completely, but we know that it will go to teachers, to classroom needs, whether it's instruments, sheet music, and that's how it will go forward into the schools.
Now it's time for our weekly songwriter tip, brought to you by Nashville Songwriters Association International. This week we sit down with Steve Bogard as he talks about following trends in music.
I would encourage everybody not to try to follow trends and to be clever. The audience really knows when a song comes from an honest place, and if you try to follow trends and write what's on the radio right now, it's like trying to hit a receiver who's running down the field by throwing it where he is, because he's going to be gone by the time you get there. And it takes long enough to write a song and get it out there that you should really be thinking about where things are going, not where they are.
To learn more about NSAI, visit NashvilleSongwriters.com. That's about all the time we have for this week's show, but don't forget those autographed discs we have up for grabs from the Casey Donahue Band. Enter online at InsideMusicRow.com. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page too for all the latest news and events going on around town. We're going to leave you this week with the title track of that album from Casey. Here is Double Wide Dream. Until next time, I'm Bailey for Inside Music Row, and I'll see you again real soon.